Johnny Dollar.
Hi, Johnny. This is Lou Little over here at State Unity Life.
Lou, it's about time I got a call from you.
I know. But then our nice, quiet, wealthy clientele hasn't been giving us any trouble. Up to now.
What's the problem now?
Johnny, I've got a crazy writer on my hands. Well, maybe not crazy. Actually, he's a very nice old guy, but you know how writers are.
Do I?
Well, don't you?
Only writer I have any contact with is Johnstone, the man who dramatizes these cases of mine to put them on the air.
And he's perfectly normal?
Well, let's see. He's kind of a nut about fishing.
You see, if it isn't fishing, it's something else. So help me, every one of them is, well, they've got some peculiarity.
Look, Lou, if liking to fish is a peculiarity, I'm the nuttiest guy around.
Well, you know what I mean. They get so wrapped up in things. Anyhow, this man, this author, is a nut on murder. Writes nothing but murder stories. That's all he thinks about.
So that makes him a killer?
Can you think of anyone better qualified to plan a perfect crime?
You have reason to think something like that's going on, Lou?
Maybe. Maybe you better come on over here and let me tell you about it.
Yeah. Maybe I better.
The CBS Radio Network brings you Mandel Kramer in the exciting adventures of the man with the action-packed expense account, America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator,
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar to State Unity Life Insurance Company, Home Office, Hartford, Connecticut. Following is an account of expenses incurred during my investigation of the Imperfect Crime Matter. Expense account item 1, $4.26 for a tank full of gas. As long as I could fill up my own car on the expense account, why not? When I got to his office, Lou Little wasted no time in getting to the point.
Bodyguard. Well, I'd say that's up to you after you've heard the facts in the case.
Go ahead, shoot.
Must say, though, I can't think of a nicer job than acting as a bodyguard for her.
Her?
And I mean, what a body. And all that goeth with, wow.
Then you meant authoress rather than author.
No, Johnny, I'm talking about Mrs. Porter.
Porter?
That's right, Denise Porter.
The wife of G. Stanley Porter?
That's right, you know him?
No, but I'd like to.
I doubt that.
Lou, in my book, he's one of the best mystery writers alive.
Oh, no question of it. And over the years, he's done very well for himself.
Well, he deserves to. That man can take the simplest plot and build it up into a fantastic mystery. And his descriptions, Lou, of people and places and things, why, he can almost make you see them just the way he does. What's his problem?
Hers, Johnny. And I've asked her over here to tell you about it herself.
Well, then bring her on.
Well, she should have got here before you did. At least, let me tell you this while we're waiting.
Yeah?
We sold them both life insurance policies right after they got married a little over a year ago.
Each made the other the beneficiary?
Right.
How large are the policies?
$750,000 apiece.
What?
Double indemnity. Yep, $1.5 million in case of death of either one of them.
And now they're not getting along, huh?
Apparently they're not. You see, Johnny... Oh.
Your secretary said to come right in, Mr. Little.
Yes, do. Please, come in.
And suddenly I began to hear sweet music. That whole office took on a kind of soft, warm, pleasant glow around one of the prettiest girls I've ever seen. Denise, maybe 26 or 7, tall, blonde, and beautiful. Her complexion, faintly tanned, was flawless, and her figure, well, her expensive, carefully tailored clothes, even a few carefully chosen pieces of fine jewelry she wore, seemed almost tawdry compared to the girl herself. Her eyes were a warm, rich brown, yet there was a twinkle there, a sparkle that was almost an invitation. But into her eyes, as she talked to us, came what? Apprehension? Fear? I'm not sure, but it was disturbing.
And it isn't as though my husband hasn't been good to me. He has. Almost too good. A little too considerate. But, well, there's been something insincere about it lately.
Ask me, Johnny. It's like giving the condemned one a hearty last meal.
That's a horrible way to put it, Mr. Little. Oh, maybe that's what it amounts to. Yes, he's been so moody, so morose lately.
Why? Have you given him any cause?
No, of course not. I'm afraid it's just because... Well, you see,
Go on, Denise.
Johnny, I don't know how to say it. I thought that our marriage would be different, not like the others.
You've been married before?
No, But he has. And I just found out all about it. And not just once, Johnny, but 4 times. 4 other wives.
Happy as a lark with every one of them, too, for a couple of years.
And then?
Then each of them died. Suddenly, unexpectedly.
Under suspicious circumstances?
Apparently not at all. Apparently a couple of them were accidents. But mind, I use that word, apparently.
He's such a master of the perfect crime, Johnny. In his writing, I mean. But don't you see? That's all he thinks about. Planning perfect crimes, perfect murders. It's almost an obsession with him. And when I found out that right after each of them died, he'd written another book about the murder of a woman.
But to commit a crime and then put it into a book would be ridiculous.
What I said about authors still goes, Johnny.
Well, do you or you, Denise, have any real reason for thinking that he might have murdered his other wives?
4 in a row? And each of them after only a year or 2? And each of them well insured?
Doesn't prove anything, Lou.
Not the least suspicious, huh?
Well, of course I am, but if nobody's been able to prove anything, why...
I'm scared, Johnny. The way he's been acting lately. And this not knowing what he's thinking or planning. If only I could know what he's writing about. Locked up there in his study every day, all day long, most of the night. And I lie there alone in my bed every night, wondering what sort of a clever, diabolical trap he's setting for me.
If he is.
I'm sure he is. And the same thing will happen to me that happened to the other 4. Unless you can help me. Unless he falls into his trap himself.
How long has this been going on, Denise?
Months now, Johnny. Several months.
So she finally called this morning and asked for you.
Please, Johnny. Will you help me? Will you protect me from whatever trap he's setting for me?
Of course he will, Denise.
I'm not sure.
You're not sure?
Johnny.
Let me think about it, no? I'll be in touch. Maybe in a couple of days.
If you ever suffer a touch of arthritis or rheumatism and you've never tried mentholatum deep heating rub, you can't know how good its deep heating action can make you feel. As you massage it into painful areas, you feel its deep heating action. You know relief is on the way. Mentholatum Deep Heating Rub is an extra strong combination of active ingredients for safe, temporary relief of minor arthritic, rheumatic pain. Use greaseless, stainless Mentholatum Deep Heating Rub often.
I went back to my apartment to think this one over. I couldn't imagine anything pleasanter than acting as a bodyguard for beautiful Denise Porter. But the more I thought about it, the more I wondered. No question but that an author, constantly preoccupied with planning the perfect crime, would be the most likely to get away with it, or at least to think he could. I'd told Denise I wasn't sure if I'd take on the case. I was sure, only I didn't want her to know it. Not yet. Especially in view of the fact that when she pulled a handkerchief out of her bag in Lou's office, a plane ticket had dropped out. A ticket to New York. Okay, item 2, 90 cents for a phone call to New York to my old pal, Lieutenant Randy Singer of the 18th Precinct. Then I hopped into my car and drove out to the home of G. Stanley Porter, author. It was an old place, but in its way, a very handsome one. The front door of heavy oak led into a large reception hall, its floor of polished marble. At the right was the entrance to a huge living room. At the left, a long, straight staircase, also of oak, going up to the second floor in a sort of gallery with various bedroom doors facing on it. But I'm getting ahead of myself. That front door was opened for me by a man in his late 50s, tall, well-built, handsome, with a shock of white hair.
Yeah?
Mr. Porter?
That's right.
My name is Dollar, Johnny Dollar.
Oh, come in, Mr. Dollar. By all means, come in.
Thank you.
I don't know what brings you here, but I can assure you it's a real pleasure to see you.
Thank you again.
I've been following these exciting exploits of yours for years on the radio.
I'm glad to hear that.
Let's see now. About 6 feet, huh?
That's right.
Perhaps 160 pounds.
On the nose.
Dark hair and eyes of gray, is it?
Mm-hmm.
And built like a steel spring, I'm sure. Just the way I've always visualized you. But, what I can do for you?
Your wife isn't at home.
Oh. I see. She's been checking with you or one of your companies about our insurance.
Something like that, yes.
Now, I'm sorry, Mr. Dollar, but I can assure you we have all we need, and surely they aren't making you fill in your time as
An ordinary salesman?
No, Mr. Porter. It's just that where policies the size of yours are involved, we like to keep in touch, that's all.
Well, it's a matter of making sure that we're hale and hearty and able to keep up the fantastic premiums they charge for a man of my age. I can assure you that everything's all right.
Well, seeing this home of yours and the way it's kept, I'm sure it is.
No, I'm a writer, you know.
I certainly do know. I've read and thoroughly enjoyed most of your books.
And things have been going nicely for me, financially, I mean. And, well, as long as I have the money, I like to surround myself with beautiful things, this home, the garden, beautiful paintings.
And a beautiful wife.
Yes. Denise is beautiful, isn't she?
Very.
Young, beautiful, full of vitality. Yes, I'm very lucky for a man of my age.
And I suspect that all she needs to do is ask, and you give her everything she wants.
Everything? Well, I try, but working the way I do, the long hours alone. You see, Dollar, my writing is a sort of compulsion. Writing is my whole life. I get ideas from everything, from everyone I meet. Now, it may sound morbid, but even the passing of my former wives, and believe me, I love them dearly, gave me ideas for stories. And if I don't get them down on paper and work them out immediately, well, I have to, or I'll lose them. You understand that, Dollar?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh. But apart from some of my, perhaps too much of my time, I try to give her everything to keep her happy. And, of course, when I die, she'll have not only my insurance, but other things and money as well. It's the least I can do when you consider how she nursed me back to health from an almost fatal illness.
And if she dies before you?
Have that happen again? Lose her, my little Denise, the way the other... Sorry, Dolly, forgive me. I'm sorry she isn't here. She went down to New York with some of her girlfriends, and she won't be back until after the theater.
Mm-hmm. Well, it really doesn't make any difference, I guess.
As long as you're here, come along. Up to my study, second floor. Only it's really where I practically live these days with the book I work on.
Oh?
I'd like to talk further with you. Who knows, maybe some of your exciting adventures will give me plot material. I'll lead the way. Well, you coming?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, why do you say it that way? A little surprised, perhaps, at the way I move around this place?
More than a little, Mr. Porter.
Why? Just because I happen to be totally blind?
Up there in his study, only it was a small, complete apartment. I tried to speak further with Mr. Porter about his wife. But all he'd talk of was plots for his whodunits, and ask about some of my relatively mild experiences as an insurance investigator. Despite the fact his interest lay only in the fine points of murder, I found his conversation fascinating. Later, after making and pouring enough cocktails to give both of us a bit of an edge, he opened the door of a sort of a built-in kitchenette and fixed one of the most delicious steak dinners I've had in years. And with such ease and sureness of touch, I almost forgot that he was completely blind.
Well, enjoy your steak, Johnny.
Prime, well-hung, and broiled to a T.
Fine. Now, just let me get these dishes cleaned up, and we can talk some more. You can give me some more of your ideas.
No, you don't.
Now, you stay right there. You stay right there and finish your cigarette and coffee. I'm the host. I'm the boss.
All right. Tell me, you always eat your dinner up here?
Well, when Denise is away, which is rather often these days. But my real fun is in raiding the big refrigerator downstairs every night, long about 2 or 3 in the morning, after I put my typewriter away.
Mm-hmm. Mr. Porter?
Yeah?
I think I would like to raid that icebox with you.
Fine.
Maybe for 2 or 3 nights, if necessary.
Oh? Oh, of course, I'd be delighted to have you stay over.
Provided one thing.
What's that?
That neither your wife nor anyone else knows that I'm staying in this house.
Some little mystery you're cooking up for me, Johnny?
Yeah, something like that. And while you're doing those dishes, I'll go down and move my car over to the next block. A hunch? No, not at this point. Just lay it to experience. Some long, sometimes pretty unpleasant experience. When I went out to move my car, I put in another call to New York. That's item 4 to Lieutenant Randy Singer. And what he had to say told me that I'd guessed right.
That's right. He met her at the plane.
She got off alone?
All alone. No, I don't know yet who he is, Johnny, but don't worry. I'll find out for you.
And where'd they go?
Well, like I said, before they started the round of the nightclubs, they made that one stop.
At a machine tool supplier's.
Yeah. And all he bought and gave to her was a...
Yeah, you told me. Okay, Randy. Thanks a lot. It all added up. And why call me in on the whole thing? As a cover-up, of course. To convince me so that I would convince the law when it was all over that Mr. G. Stanley Porter had slipped up. With his mind on his book, he'd forgotten the trap he'd set. That he'd fallen into it himself. That's what it would look like, all right. And what was the trap?
Johnny, this mysterious behavior of yours intrigues me more than you may realize.
Well, who knows? Maybe you'll get some material for a story.
Well, at least give me some clues to what you're up to.
Later, Mr. Porter. Maybe later. Maybe tomorrow.
Whatever you say. Have a drink?
No, thanks. I'm fine.
See, maybe that I'm ahead of you. Huh?
What is it, sir?
Front door. Denise is home. Now, as I told you, Johnny, she'll stop in here for a minute to say good night to me. So if you want to go through this little stunt of hiding from her, she's coming up the stairs now. I'll get to my typewriter.
When I look back on it, the business of hiding in that tiny kitchenette with the door open only a crack seems almost childish, like a couple of kids playing Mystery Story. But believe me, this was playing for keeps.
Still working, darling?
Yeah, usual. Did you enjoy the play, my dear?
Oh, the other girls seem to like it.
How's it all about?
Oh, you know, usual thing. Oh, I'm terribly tired, dear. I think I'll... Oh, there's plenty of milk and a nice chocolate cake. Your favorite kind in the refrigerator. You know, for your late supper.
Thank you. Night, dear.
Night.
Well, my fellow conspirator, you may come out now.
Kind of a silly sort of a game, I suppose.
Is it?
Well, isn't it?
I wonder.
You wonder what?
I was thinking that maybe I'd let you see the manuscript story I'm working on. Later on, perhaps.
Whatever you say.
But it might be quite apropos to this game of ours with Denise. Except, of course, that I haven't written the ending yet.
Is that why you've been so interested in talking with me? Having me here, Mr. Porter? In the hope that maybe I can help you write the ending?
I'm not sure. Not yet.
Tell me this, Mr. Porter. Is there by any chance a character in it like yourself? A man without sight, who nonetheless manages to get around his home as though he could see as well as I do?
I'm not going to tell you a thing, Johnny, not yet. Shall we go downstairs and raid the icebox?
After that huge dinner only a couple of hours ago and those drinks? Don't you think a little snooze sounds like a much better idea?
Yeah, perhaps you're right.
Good. You want to sprawl out on the sofa? I'll grab some sleep right here in this chair. After what seemed like a couple of hours, he began to snore, softly but deeply. Quietly as possible, I slipped out of the room and to the head of the long, dark staircase that led to the marble floor of the reception hall far below. Then, carefully feeling my way, one step at a time, I started down. And there they were, on the fourth step from the top. There must have been a couple of dozen of them. Small, smooth, steel ball bearings that she and her boyfriend in New York had bought. Had Porter ever stepped on them in one of his usual quick flights down those stairs, nothing in the world could possibly have saved him from crashing to the stone floor below. And when it was over, she could have gathered up those ball bearings, disposed of them, and nobody would have known the fall wasn't an accident by a blind man who simply missed a step that he couldn't see. There'd be nothing to suggest that he was pushed down the stairs because he wasn't. No marks where a wire might have been stretched across because there was none. No sign at all of what really happened. Carefully, still feeling my way in the dark, I collected the ball bearings from the stair tread and put them into my pocket. Then I went back up and started feeling my way back to Mr. Porter's.
That's all right, Johnny.
Mr. Porter.
I've seen now what you planned for me. Or rather, my ears have told me.
I'm sorry, Mr. Porter.
And it looks as though you have given me an ending to my story, doesn't it?
You mean your story is about this? About Denise?
And her having got tired of living with an old man, about her lover in New York? Yeah. I'm afraid I've known all along, Johnny, about a lot of things. And a man of my age, married to a lovely young girl, only half his age.
I guess that's why I felt in the beginning, Mr. Porter, that if one of you were plotting to kill the other, it wouldn't be you.
All I didn't know was how she would try it, or when.
What'll you do now, sir? No, I know it's really none of my affair.
Now give me the little steel balls you found. When I give them to her, and she sees that I know, I guess from now on, mine will be a very lonely life, Johnny.
I left him then, walked out to my car, drove back to my apartment, poured myself a good stiff drink, and have been quietly sitting here writing out this report. Whatever may have happened when he faced her with the evidence of her attempt to murder him is none of my affair. The expense account? Forget it. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Here is Mandel Kramer to tell you about next week's story.
Next week, I start out to collect a small debt, but instead I collect a bullet. Join us, won't you? Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, is written by Jack Johnstone, produced by Bruno Zerato Jr., directed by Ed Oates, musical supervision by Ethel Huber. The part of Johnny Dollar was played by Mandel Kramer. Also heard were Alan Manson as Lou, Evelyn Joster as Denise, Raymond Edward Johnson as Porter, Eugene Francis as Randy. Be sure to join us next week, same time, same station, for another exciting story of yours truly, Johnny Dollar. This is Art Hanna speaking.
From Hollywood, it's time now for
Johnny Dollar.
Dan Martin here. I was up the street when you
Listen,
called.
Sheriff, they've traced Kathy O'Dare here to your nice little town of Branbury.
Who has?
Nick Shern's boys. One of them, a trigger man named Benny Stark, came out to the sawmill hill a few minutes ago. I traded a couple of shots with him, but he got away in a car.
Did he head north or back toward town?
Toward town, I think. You can't see the turnoff from here.
All right, Dollar. You're packing a gun. Will you take the pickup truck and block that turnoff? Hold it until I can get somebody out there to relieve you?
Right. How many deputies you got?
Deputies?
Uh-oh. What about volunteers?
Is this Benny Stark the man Kathy's afraid of?
He's one of them.
Then I'll have volunteers. 20 men within a half hour, armed with deer rifles. And every one of them a dead shot.
Tonight and every weekday night, Bob Bailey in the transcribed adventures of the man with the action-packed expense account, America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar. From Special Investigator Johnny Dollar, location Branbury, Michigan, to the Home Office, Tri-Mutual Insurance Limited, Hartford, Connecticut. Assignment, the Nick Shern matter. Expense account continued. Item 8, $3.60 for 2 packs of cigarettes and a pint of Applejack, borrowed from the foreman's locker at the sawmill. I figured these as standard equipment for holding down a roadblock at 10 degrees above zero. And Mike O'Dare agreed with me 100%.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. They can make it out of corn, rye, barley, make it out of gold if they want to. But they'll never come up with anything better than what they make out of apples. Here, have a short one, Johnny.
No, thanks. I'll save it for later.
Well, I'll just, It's got the taste of Indian summer in it. You ought to see this country around that time of year, Johnny. Breaks your heart, it's so beautiful.
Well, it's beautiful now with the snow on. And it would be more so if there wasn't a killer running loose in it.
Johnny, I want to ask you something about my daughter. And I want you to answer me honest.
All right.
It's no use trying to fool you. She's here, all right.
I know.
But she hasn't told me what it was that happened in New York. What she ran away from. And somehow I figured it was just as well not to ask her.
Your sheriff, Dan Martin, said practically the same thing.
Dan's been in love with Kathy since he was 12 years old. He's a good man. Solid.
So I figured.
Anyway, she was scared. Scared half to death. And she'd come home for help, so we tried to help her.
What was it you wanted to ask me, Mr. O'Dare?
You mentioned a murder case, Johnny. You didn't give any of the details, just said that Kathy was a witness. Is she mixed up in this murder?
And you wanted an honest answer. All right, I'm not sure.
I see.
That's why I wanted to talk to her, get her story, the truth. I realized from the start she might be guilty. I don't think so, but it's a possibility. You may as well know about it.
I guess you realize it wouldn't make any difference. Not to me or to Dan.
Oh, yeah, I figured. In other words, you're with me as long as I'm trying to protect her. But you'll fight me if I find reason to think she's guilty.
That's about it, Johnny.
Well, at least we know where we stand. And I hope it won't come to...
What's the matter?
Car coming. Light on the trees there at the bend.
Yeah. Do you suppose maybe...
Probably not, but you can't tell. Better get behind the truck just in case. You'll have to shift into low to edge past us. And let me get that spotlight on.
I guess I'll just have another quick one. That wind cuts right through your bones.
It's a dark-colored sedan. It might be him.
Funny. I'd been hoping for 2 months that Kathy'd come home for Christmas. And I didn't figure I'd be out here in the woods, hiding behind a truck, waiting to shoot it out with somebody that wanted to kill her.
It's a crazy world. Keep your head down, Mr. O'Dare.
Yeah.
Just the driver by himself, wearing a dark hat. I don't know.
You know, that kind of looks like...
Huh?
By golly, it is.
What?
That's Ted Perkins' old wreck. No doubt about it.
All right, you better wave him out past. He probably thinks we need help.
It's all right, Ted. It's Mike O'Dare. Go ahead. We don't need anything. Yeah, well, all right. Thanks anyway. Well, there's one thing about people around here. They mind their own business and don't ask no questions.
And they don't answer them often either. How's that Applejack holding out? Two long hours went past. Only 3 cars came out from the village. And each time a long moment of tension while we waited to identify the occupants. But all of them were townspeople. Benny didn't show. One truck came down the logging road from the back hills loaded with dwarf spruce and fir. Peace on earth, goodwill toward men. We were waiting for an assassin, but the truck only carried Christmas trees. The night was crystal clear with bright stars hanging low in the blackness, but it kept turning colder and colder. Until even the Applejack didn't help much. And the wind, too, changed gradually and blew fitful and gusty and strange.
It's going to storm. Come a blizzard, maybe. Not tonight. Tomorrow sometime or tomorrow night. I know this country. Know the signs.
There's an odd feeling in the air, all right.
There's an even odder one in my leg. Log rolled over on it pretty near 6 years ago. Bothers me some in the winter. It's a lot worse, though, right before a storm.
Well, that's kind of a handy thing to have.
Well, that's one way of looking at it, I guess. Like one time when Kathy was little. When her ma was still alive. God rest her soul. We had a big measles epidemic here in Branbury, and every night Kathy used to add a line to her prayers. She'd say, "And please let me catch the measles so I can stay out of school like the other kids." Now she's wanted as a witness in a murder case. And somebody's prowling out there in the dark trying to find her and kill her. Little Kathy, who never harmed anybody in her whole life. Some things just don't make sense, Johnny.
Some things never have. There was another time once when men like Benny were prowling in the dark, trying to find a little child and kill him. And he hadn't harmed anybody either. That was nearly 2,000 years ago.
Yeah, so it was. I like you, Johnny. Kathy will like you, too, and little Jill. Oh, now there's a pair for you. That kid looks more like her mother did at her age.
Another car coming, Mr. O'Dare.
Yeah, so there is. And this just might be the one.
Maybe.
I sure wish that Applejack hadn't run out.
But it was only a couple of men Deputy Martin had sent out from town to relieve us and take over. Big men, calm and quiet, wearing plaid mackinaws and heavy-laced boots and carrying Winchester 94s over their arms. They told us Benny Stark had been seen. He'd come up from the west, driven onto one of the roadblocks unexpectedly. In a flurry of shots, he'd broken through. The men couldn't understand his persistence. They thought he'd run for it, get out of the area once his presence was known. I didn't bother to explain, to put him straight, but I knew Benny had never run, not now. He was a trigger man, a professional killer with a reputation at stake. And he had his orders to silence Kathy O'Dare. A half hour later, we were back in town, turning into the main street around the village square. Strings of colored lights on a tall pine in the center of the square blinked and sparkled as they swayed in the wind. Around 100 cars and trucks were parked in the street and in the lot behind the town hall. And the sound of singing drifted out from inside.
They're practicing carols and things for the big doings on Christmas Eve. Ain't it beautiful?
The men at the roadblock had given a description of Benny's car and the license number. It was just barely possible.
Got something in mind, Johnny?
Yeah, let's take a look through those parked cars.
I don't know. If it was me, I sure wouldn't be hanging around here. I'd stick to the tall timber.
Yeah, but you're not a city boy, Mike. Tall timber is foreign soil to Benny. He's only comfortable when he's close to a crowd.
He the fellow that's supposed to have done that murder?
No, it was the man he works for, a cafe owner, ex-gangster, a man named Nick Shern. Let's check that lot around at the side. I don't think he'd show here in front.
He'd be taking a big chance showing anywhere. In a town this size, people know each other.
It's his job to take chances. And he probably doesn't realize... Wait a minute. That sedan against the building with the side window broken.
7, 8, 2, 1. That's his car, Johnny.
Yeah, wait here. I eased my gun out of the holster and started toward the car. There were no lights in the lot, only the soft glow reflected from the packed snow underfoot. And the car itself stood in the dark shadows next to the building. I couldn't see whether anyone was in it or not. The singing seemed to swell louder as I approached. I moved slowly, watching for any sudden movement. The car was empty. It was time, past time, to talk to Kathy O'Dare. And with the pressure tightening, the danger close to home now, her father was ready to take me to her. We drove over to Dan Martin's house, where it turned out Kathy and her daughter were staying. Dan's mother had been looking after her. Dan was there when we arrived, busy on the phone.
Yeah, I know the car all right. The one Jed bought last spring down in Bay City. 7392. Where was it parked? All right, keep an eye out, Charlie. So long. Benny Stark has stole himself another car.
Huh?
Took Jed Wharton's station wagon.
Well, what for? That was a better one he had.
Charlie says the steering gear was sprung. I guess it happened when he crashed that roadblock.
Well, how's Kathy and the young'un?
Oh, fine. They're asleep upstairs. Mom's next door helping Mrs. Barton stuff a turkey.
Johnny, you You figure it could wait till morning.
I'm sorry, Mr. O'Dare. I've got to talk to her tonight.
All right. I'll go wake her up.
Mr. Dollar, no matter what she's done, don't hurt her any more than you have to.
As far as I know at the moment, Dan, all she's guilty of is withholding information. And most people would have done the same thing. Nick Shern's a rough boy to tangle with. She was scared, that's all. Lost her head.
She never did belong in a city. She belongs right here in Branbury. This is her kind of life.
Why did she leave?
Well, we argued one day, and she said she'd show me. So she ran off and married that fella. He treated her bad. Finally left her. But she was too proud to come back. She wouldn't have come back now if she hadn't have been so scared.
Well, maybe it'll work out now.
She ought to stay. Her kid ought to grow up here. Learn the outdoors and the woods like Kathy used to know it. Why, she roamed through those hills like a young Indian. Knew every trail in that forest. Every timber camp and trapper's cabin from here to the ridge. I remember one time the two of us were up toward...
Dan!
What's the matter?
What is it, Mr. O'Dare?
You said Jill and Kathy were asleep upstairs. Ain't that what you said, Dan?
Of course, that's what I... Mike.
What's happened?
They're not up there. They're not up there or anywhere else in the house. They're gone.
There'll be another intriguing episode in our story of the Nick Shern matter tomorrow.
Tomorrow, a little girl who believes in Santa Claus, a big girl who believes in very little, and both of them facing death. Join us, won't you? Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, starring Bob Bailey, is transcribed in Hollywood. Written by Les Crutchfield, it is produced and directed by Jack Johnstone. Be sure to join us tomorrow night, same time and station, for the next exciting episode of Yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Roy Rowan speaking. From Hollywood, it's time now for...
Johnny Dollar.
Barney Wilson, DA's office.
Oh, morning, Mr. Wilson.
Say, you're on an expense account, aren't you?
That's right.
Good, I'm not. How about buying me a lunch?
You got a deal. 12 o'clock here at my hotel.
Sold.
Found any more shoes?
No, and no bodies. Not yet, anyway.
I'm amazed.
Did find one thing you may be interested in, though.
What's that?
We got a lead on that license number you gave me last night. You were right. The car was bought from a dealer about 2 weeks ago.
By whom?
Somebody named John Smith over on the east side of town.
That figures.
Well, maybe here's something that won't. I checked the address this morning. And you know what?
Sure, a vacant lot.
Well, now, how the devil did you know?
See you at lunch, Mr. Wilson.
Tonight and every weekday night, Bob Bailey in the transcribed adventures of the man with the action-packed expense account, America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar. Location, Miami Beach, Florida. To the Home Office, Delta Liability, Hartford, Connecticut. Assignment, the Fathom 5 matter. A sunken cruiser that refused to give up its dead. Item 10, $4.80. Lunch with DA Deputy Barney Wilson. A man who'd made up his mind about the case before I'd even arrived in town. Murder, he'd called it, when the hired cruiser Fathom 5 burned and sank mysteriously a mile or two offshore. But nobody had been found yet, and I still doubted very much that one ever would be, because I wasn't even certain that William Markey was dead. Wilson, of course, had different ideas.
Yes, sir, Mr. Dollar. It's the old story. 2 men go out in a boat and only one comes back. No witnesses, nothing. And if that doesn't indicate murder, I'd say pass the sugar, will you, please?
Sure, here. You're convinced it's murder, and you're convinced young Danny Haynes did it.
Well, who else?
Well, now that would be a fine argument to advance in court, wouldn't it? Sure. Certain conviction. Simply because you can't produce any other suspect. Wilson, I don't think there's been any murder at all. Now, you can pass me the sugar.
All right. Suppose you let me tell you how I figure it.
While I'm eating my dessert?
Markey and his wife took a liking to this Haynes kid and practically made him one of the family. And right there was their mistake.
It usually is.
Because Haynes started getting ideas about his boss's wife. You have to admit Mrs. Markey is a mighty pretty woman.
Who could deny it?
She's Haynes' own age, and her husband was older. So the kid, in that bird brain of his, figured he had it all tagged. Figured she actually went for him. I think he probably started bothering her, making a nuisance out of himself. And I'll lay you odds she'll admit he did, once she's convinced he's guilty.
Well, I got a sneaking hunch you may be right on that.
Oh, thank you. So what happened? Markey finally noticed the kid was getting a little out of line. Probably didn't even take it seriously at first, but eventually he must have decided he'd better get Haynes straightened out.
So, you took him out on that fishing boat in order to talk to him alone, is that it?
Now you're with a dollar. But the thing backfired. Haynes probably got mad, maybe started a fight, knocked Markey out, and that gave him his big idea.
Spur of the moment, huh?
Yes, sir. Now, with the boss out of the way, he'd have a clear field with the widow. So he threw Markey overboard, set fire to the cruiser, opened the seacock so it would be sure and sink, and then rowed away in the dinghy.
And how could he be sure the body wouldn't be found, washed ashore by the currents?
Oh, he couldn't be sure. But what if it was? There was a heavy fog. Nobody saw what happened. He knew it'd be mighty tough to prove anything on him.
Oh, brother, that's an understatement. As a matter of fact, it'll be impossible to prove that story.
Yeah, well, once he's arrested and interrogated, I figure he'll break down and tell us the whole thing.
Not unless he's completely simple-minded. No, you haven't even got the shadow of a case, Mr. Wilson. All you've got is a wild theory that doesn't even fit the facts.
You got a better theory, I suppose.
I think so.
And would it be the kind that would take your company off the hook on that $75,000 life insurance policy?
Now, by coincidence, it just so happens that it would. In fact, that insurance policy is the key to the whole thing.
I sort of thought you might say that.
I didn't have any pet theory at first, but I do now. I'm pretty sure this thing is an out-and-out insurance fraud, and Danny Haynes is being used as the fall guy.
Oh, do tell. And what are you finding for evidence, Mr. Dollar?
Oh, a lot of little things that are sort of starting to add up. For one thing, I got a long telegram this morning from a firm of confidential investigators in New York. I forwarded a request through Hartford yesterday. Yeah, they turned up quite a lot on Markey.
Such as?
His financial status for the main thing.
Oh, well, go on.
Well, when he and Mrs. Markey were married 3 years ago, the firm was in first-class shape. But they've been living high, living up his capital. If he'd got that contract he came down here after, it might have pulled him through, but he didn't get it. Net result, he was flat broke.
So what? A lot of people are broke.
But not many of them have a $75,000 policy.
I thought that's what you were getting at.
What I am getting at is what I think happened. And I think Danny Haynes is telling the truth. I think Markey did send him off alone in that dinghy. Then Markey fired the boat, opened the seacocks, and while she filled up and sank, he swam ashore in the fog. And he's waiting it out somewhere now until his widow collects the insurance.
Well, I don't see where you got any more evidence than I have.
Well, there's not much, I'll grant you. Not so far. But what there is adds up.
I guess I'm just stupid, Dollar.
All right, look. Take Mrs. Markey's attitude, for instance. She's trying hard to play the role, but it doesn't come off. Now, does she act to you like a 4-day widow?
Well, she's got a lot of self-control.
Oh, I'll say she has. I tried to goad her yesterday when I talked to her, came right out and practically insulted her. And how did she react? Never took her eyes off that main chance, the $75,000.
Well, you know, it's not exactly unheard of for a widow not to mind too much being a widow.
Oh, no, that's not the impression she gives. She's tense enough, nervous as a cat. But it's not because of grief or any feeling of relief either. It's because she's afraid she might say the wrong thing and let her foot slip.
Well, everybody's got a right to their own opinion.
Another thing is that Marky's body hasn't turned up. Now, I talked to the harbor master this morning. He knows the currents along this coast backwards and forwards. He says it's the only one chance in 100 that Marky's body would have been carried out through the reef instead of thrown up on the beach about where you found that shoe.
So, this is the one time in 100. That was a mighty fine lunch, Mr. Dollar.
We're going to fight you, Mr. Wilson, if you petition the court to declare Marky legally dead.
Yes, I sort of figured you would. Hensley and Davis phoned me this morning and said you'd retained them as counsel.
That's right.
Well, I've been fought before.
Expense account item 11, 10 cents. Phone call to Edna Markey, widow of the allegedly deceased and beneficiary of his insurance policy.
Hello?
Mrs. Markey?
Yes?
This is Johnny Dollar.
Oh, I didn't recognize your voice.
I wonder if I could ask a favor of you.
Well, if it's something I can...
I'd like to borrow a photograph of your late husband for a few hours.
Well...
I'll take good care of it, make sure it gets back to you.
Well, the fact is I really don't have one.
Oh, well, you must have forgotten. I noticed one yesterday afternoon on the mantel in your study.
Well, I meant not a good one.
Well, that one will do fine, and thanks a lot.
Has something new come up, Mr. Dollar?
Yes, you might say that. I'll send a messenger out to pick it up. Goodbye, Mrs. Markey. Item 12, $3.80, messenger service. Item 13, $1.90, taxi fare to the used car lot of one Truthful Tom, the dealer who'd sold a car to a man named John Smith. A car that had departed suddenly from the vicinity of the Markey Beach House when its driver saw me come out of the house. I wasn't too sure whether Tom was truthful or not, but one thing was certain. He was typical.
I notice you looking at that little gray job, friend, and I say to myself, Truthful Tom, don't you go trying to get the best of that lad, because he's walked right in here and spotted the best doggone buy on the lot before he's even turned around.
Well, I wasn't really thinking of buying it.
Friend, with the price I'll make you on that car, you can't afford not to buy it.
No, I'm not really in the market.
It's an economic society, friend. We're all in the market when the price is right.
No, I just happened to notice that it looked like the car a friend of mine had stolen a few weeks ago.
My dear friend, I'll make you... Did you say stolen?
Oh, it may not be the same one, of course.
I've got papers on that car. I've got papers on every last car on this lot.
Did you have papers on the one you sold to John Smith 2 weeks ago?
If he says I didn't, he's a liar.
Now, wait a minute, mister.
And I can get a dozen witnesses to prove it.
You remember him, then? Well, do you?
Remember who?
Look, I'm a special investigator for the Delta liability.
It's a frame-up, that's all it is. Whoever it is says they got a hot car deal on this lot is lying. Truthful Tom never turned a dishonest penny in his whole doggone life.
Good, then we'll forget it.
And any low-down rat that says I did's a two-legged snake, and I... What'd you say?
I don't care anything about your deals. I'm trying to locate a fellow who bought a car from you.
Well, friend, that puts a different light on it. John Smith, you said?
That's the name he used.
I can't say I recollect anybody by that name.
Here's a copy of the title registry on the car.
Now, let's see now. 6842, dark green. Oh, that was that old clunker that... of course, it was well worth the price I was asking.
Do you remember the buyer?
You bet your life. You know why? Because he paid cash. Not a check, cash. I mean the real long green Missoula.
Would you recognize a photograph of him?
Well, I might if... Oh, is this it? Well, let's see now.
Well?
No doubt of it, friend. That's the lad, all right.
Good evening, Mrs. Markey.
Mr. Dollar?
I brought back the photograph of your husband.
Oh, there wasn't that much hurry about it. Did it help any?
Quite a bit. Do you mind if I come in?
Well, all right, of course.
Thank you.
You know, I've been trying to think all day long what you could possibly want with that picture. I still can't imagine.
You can't, huh?
Sit down, Mr. Dollar.
Thanks.
It's a terrible picture, of course. That's why I hesitated about giving it to you. Doesn't look a thing like him.
It looked enough like him, Mrs. Markey.
Enough like him? I don't think I know what you mean.
Did you know your husband bought a second-hand car the week before his so-called death?
You must be mistaken. He'd have told me about it.
The car dealer positively identifies his photograph. He used the name John Smith, paid for it in cash.
What did you mean, so-called death?
William Markey isn't dead. I think we're both aware of that. Well, Mrs. Markey, aren't we?
Do you mind telling me what you're talking about?
It wasn't even a very smart scheme to start with. Your husband must have been really up against the wall, or he'd have known better than to try it. But I suppose he thought he had to in order to hang on to you. I imagine you're pretty expensive to support.
I think you'd better leave right now.
Actually, it would serve you both right if I did. But I decided to give you a chance. I came here to let you know exactly where you stand.
And where is that, if I may ask?
1 step away from prison. Take that step, and you're in up to your necks, you and your husband both.
What step?
So far, we have no case against you for attempted fraud because you haven't filed a claim yet. But take my advice, Mrs. Markey, don't file one, because the minute you do, we're going to hit you with both barrels.
You've got some pretty crazy ideas, haven't you?
You've had fair warning.
I've had one of the biggest bluffs I've ever heard about. Why, you people would do anything, wouldn't you, to keep from paying off on a policy?
Better talk it over with your husband before you do anything foolish.
My husband is dead, Mr. Dollar. No one but you even doubts it.
I'm a cynic.
How much proof does it take to bring you to your senses?
Mrs. Markey, as this case stands right now, there's only one way you could convince me that William Markey is not alive. Show me his dead body.
Now, here's our star to tell you about tomorrow's intriguing episode of this week's story.
Tomorrow, a crazy kid in love, a right decision by a court, and then the whole case smashes wide open. Join us, won't you? Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, starring Bob Bailey, is transcribed in Hollywood. Written by Les Crutchfield, it is produced and directed by Jack Johnstone. Be sure to join us tomorrow night, same time and station, for the next exciting episode of Yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Roy Rowan speaking.